Hi everybody, today we learn how to crochet two rows at the same time, and this is very useful when you are crocheting a scarf or a blanket or a sweater or something which requires lots of rows, and it makes your work really fast. So the first step would be to crochet the number of chains required for the width of your project, and for the example I'm going to be crocheting 10 stitches. And now we'll crochet 6 more stitches. This is 10 and 6 more stitches, so total 16. Now we have our 16 stitches, our 16 chains, and now we'll take yarn over hook like that and count down 4 stitches from the hook. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and we'll insert our hook. Just insert, don't pull yarn, just insert your hook like that, and then count 2 more stitches. 1, 2. Now take your yarn over the hook, count down 2 stitches and insert your hook into the third stitch and pull the yarn. Now we have 5 stitches on the hook, and this stitch is slightly crossed over like that, but it has to look like that because that will be the connecting link between the two rows. Now we'll pull yarn through 2 loops every time. So yarn through 2 loops, we have 4, through 2 loops, through 2 loops and through 2 loops. So that is a total of 4 times, and our stitch starts to look like that. Now for the next part, take the yarn over the hook, and this crossed stitch, okay, there is this crossed piece of yarn over here, and we have to insert our hook in this place. This is the cross yarn and this is the place where we'll insert our hook. So the stitch next to the crossed yarn, take your yarn, take your hook through the stitch next to the crossed yarn, take yarn over hook like that, and in the next stitch, the stitch right next to the previous one that we have worked in, put your hook through the loop, through the chain, and pull up your loop. Again we have those 5 stitches with the crossed yarn. Again 2 loops through the yarn, through 2 loops, yarn through 2 loops, yarn through 2 loops, and again yarn to through loop. Again we'll do the same, we'll continue our stitches right till the end in the similar pattern. Yarn over hook, this will be your crossed yarn, and this will be the stitch next to that. Insert your hook like that, insert your hook like that, do not pull it through. Yarn over hook through the next adjacent stitch in from the previous one, pull up your yarn through 2 loops and through 2 loops, through 2 loops and through 2 loops. We can see that this is forming a pattern now, and this crossed these crossed yarn, they look like the chains when we finish a single DC row. Similarly yarn over hook, the crossed yarn over here, through the chain next to that, the crossed yarn, the crossed yarn again, yarn through that, hook through that, loop of yarn on the hook, pull through the next stitch, and now I have finished both the rows of my little swatch, which looks something like this. And now for crocheting the two rows above this, or next to that, the next step would be, do not turn your work and crochet 6 chains again. Now, like we did for the previous row, yarn over hook from the 4 and insert your hook into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1 2 3 4, that's a 4th chain from the hook. Just insert your hook and now take yarn over hook, and this would be the top of the previous stitch. This one right here would be the top of the previous stitch, and we are going to work into this. So your the hook through the 4th chain from the hook, yarn over, and now flip your work, pop your hook through both the loops like that, pull yarn through the space. Now we have those 5 weird sort of loops on the hook, and like we did for the previous row, yarn through 2, yarn through 2, yarn through 2, and yarn through 2 again. And this is how we'll continue working for the next part, for the next row. And that is how it looks after both the rows have been crocheted. Now technically it is 4 rows, so this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row, but using this technique we have crocheted 2 rows together. Now in case you want to change the color, what we can do is, you can pull a loop. This would be, just pull up a loop like that from your previous row and take your next color like this, pull a loop through the previous color, pull this loop tight, and now pull this loop, and this is how you change the color. And then you do 1 2 3 4 5 6, just like what we did for the previous row. Yarn over hook, count 4 stitches through the 4th loop, yarn over hook. And now this time what I do is, I will insert, I'll turn my work like so, insert my hook through the top of the previous row, and I will make sure that I catch this part within my stitch so that I don't have to like weave in the ends. And now through 2, through 2, through 2, and through 2. And this is how we have changed the color, and we can continue crocheting like that. And that is how the swatch would look after I have changed the color. And in case you want to change the color again, you can cut off the yarn from here and rejoin the same color or a different color, and that is how we'll make we have crocheted 6 rows, but it took me half the time to do it. If I had done it the traditional way or the usual way of crocheting, two double, like one row of double crochet like that and like that and like that, and plus it looks a lot better and it's easier to count your rows. This is the first, this is the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Thank you for watching this video, and please do press the bell icon and subscribe to my channel.